Hey, what's good, what's good, what's good? Good Doc back again, once again. Let's lock in. Shout out to the IPA, International Passport Association and affiliates. Merch list and a link in the description area below this particular video. If you guys haven't already checked out the podcast, make sure you slide on over there to the community post and get locked in on the new podcast that we just posted, as well as if you haven't already checked out the Goat Docs ebooks, make sure you check those out in the description area below as well. They also come in paperback form. All right. Now that I'm done promoting myself, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of it all, ladies and gentlemen. I am Davao City to my soul, right? If I had to choose one city to live in for the rest of my life, more specifically in a place like the Philippines, I would likely choose Davao City. I am Davao City to my core. And there are three particular reasons why I would choose Davao City over any other major city in the Philippines. And I'm going to go ahead and give you those three reasons right now. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's lock in. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, Davao City is cheaper than any of the other major cities, more specifically Manila as a whole and Cebu as a whole. It's cheaper to live in a major city like Davao City, right? Your funds go a little bit longer, and that's always going to be the obvious choice for me. Like I said, I like to live comfortably, and I find that my time spent in Davao City is a lot more comfortable than my time spent in Cebu as well as in Manila. I have been to the other two places frequently, spent some time there, enough for me to be able to say that every place has its pros and cons, of course, but I do believe that one of the pros, more specifically for a city like Davao, is that it is cheaper than many of the other major cities. As in, if you're going there looking for a nice little Airbnb rental, I do believe that you can find Airbnb rentals on a more cheaper end of the spectrum in a city like Davao City. I feel like your money goes a longer way. The same things that you buy in a city like Davao, if you were to buy it in Manila or in a place like Cebu, it is a little bit more expensive. Now again, I understand that as a foreigner, it may not affect you as much because hey, your money goes long anyways in the Philippines, but that's something that I look into. Where are the places I can go where my money can go the longest? Now, when I say that I choose Davao City because it's a cheaper place, this is where I would choose to overall live. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't take vacations or trips to any other city in the Philippines. It just means that if I had to lock in on one location, cheaper location, or just one location in general, Davao City would be where it would be. And one of the main reasons is because it is cheaper. Number two, y'all gonna get me for this one, but Davao City has some of the baddest women, baddest Filipinas in the entire country. Now, I know there gonna be somebody out there talking about, Doc, what about AC, bro? What about AC, bro? Most of the young ladies in AC, unfortunately, have a professional mindset, okay? And I'm not saying that they're all out there promiscuously getting it in. Not saying that, but I do believe that the majority of the young ladies there, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that my experiences have taught me that most of the majority of the young ladies have a professional mindset, as in they know how to go get that bag. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go get that bag. It is what it is. Not saying that that's all ladies, but the majority of them. Manila, more of a hella city type, more out of all the cities that I've been to in the Philippines, that one would probably be the one, and I'm talking about Manila as a whole. Probably the one that has the most Western vibe. Of course, it's the capital city. I expect nothing less. When you go to Cebu, kind of get the same feeling. Not really necessarily felt a connection with the young ladies in Cebu. I'm not saying that you can't find a love connection in Cebu. Not saying that Cebu's a bad place. I just say there's something about Davaoeñas. That's me. There's something about Davao women that is just different, bro. They built different. And a lot of people will be like, yo, Doc, man, how can you say that, man? Most Filipinas look alike. Some people have told me that. But it's not so much the looks, ladies and gentlemen, as it is the characteristics and the vibe of these young ladies in Davao. Anybody and any of my brethren who have ever been to Davao, you comment in the comment section below and let me know if I'm right or wrong about the characteristics and the value of some of these Davaoeñas, these Davao women. They just different. They different. I don't know what it is, the characteristics about them. I don't know if there's a more humbled personality or humbled approach that a lot of these women take as opposed to a young lady that's lived in Manila in little city areas where they've kind of been exposed to a whole lot more than women in Davao, or even the young ladies in Cebu that have probably had a whole lot more exposure than the women in Davao. Again, I'm not saying that, Cebu and Manila don't have their provincial areas. But overall, Davao City to me is one nice city province, right? Kind of got the mixture of both. And I do believe that that does carry over in the personality of the young ladies there, right? Sliding into number 3, Davao City is very slow pace, right? It's kind of a cool vibe, right? Manila reminds me of like a New York, fast paced, everybody's pushing and moving, buildings on top of each other and things like that. Cebu kind of reminds me of, I can honestly say it does have a more Hollywood LA vibe. I don't know why I feel that way, but if I had to choose a particular state or a particular city inside of a state to compare it to, I kind of would say somewhat of a Hollywood vibe in Cebu. You know, lush green veg, lush green vegetation, trees and stuff like that. It's pretty smooth, and I do believe that a lot of the rich people do live in Cebu. Some of the richest people in the country either come from Cebu or they live in Cebu. But then you got little old Davao, right? Little old Davao here, where none other than former president, former mayor Rodrigo III claims as his home city. He wasn't actually born there, but he claims the city. And, you know, to me, overall, Davao City is safer than any of these other cities. That slides into number 4. That's a bonus for that ass. It's a whole lot safer than any other city. I like to have peace of mind when I walk around at night. I like to be able to enjoy the nightlife. And granted, like I said, pros and cons, Davao City nightlife is nothing like a Cebu or a Manila nightlife. But when you want to enjoy something, have drinks, good vibes, and you're walking around on the street, don't you want to make sure that you have peace of mind and safety? If you're in the city area, man, there's just military police lined up on every block, right? Now, again, I understand that there was a situation that happened some years back about the night market situation, and you guys could Google it. And yes, I understand that that is something that has scared a lot of people away. But in reality, have you heard of a situation since that moment? Not saying that nothing could ever happen again, but that was a very isolated incident, and yes, bad shit does happen, and that could happen anywhere. But overall, I feel like Davao City is probably the safest city. I know it's ranked as one of the safest cities in the world, but definitely, in my opinion, the safest major city that the Philippines has to offer. And again, going back to that smooth vibe, that laid back thing, you know, I do believe that Davao City would always be a good place for a foreigner to start, because you don't necessarily have to be thrown to the wolves. You don't necessarily have to be immersed in the culture immediately. You can give yourself a chance to acclimate and adjust, and Davao is one of those cities that I personally believe offer that to foreigners looking to travel to the country. Badass women, nice smooth vibes, safe as hell. The women are different. And like I said, man, this is just some of the things that I think about why I would choose Davao City over any other major city in the Philippines. And by that, I kind of mean your Manilas or your Cebus. I would always choose Davao City over them, right? Again, all of the other cities, Manila and Cebu, as aforementioned, they have their strong points as well, their positive marks as well, and I would never shit on them. But if I had to personally choose, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Davao City to my core. And that'll be until the day that I die. That's just me as a foreigner expressing my opinion. Everybody's opinion is allowed on this channel. If you feel like you want to say something, feel like you want to get it off your chest, comment section below. Have at it like a crack addict, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to know what city you would personally choose to live in for the rest of your life. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some Angeles City, Angeles City, AC. Probably going to get a Manila and a couple of Cebus for sure. But, you know, when you do give me that, make sure you give me an explanation as to why you would choose that over any other major city. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's time for the good night to go and get to getting. Y'all take care, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out.